How to apply for a K-1 or Fiance Visa from Philippines to USA, no derivative or KID. What is a K-1 or Fiance Visa? A K-1 or a Fiance non-immigrant visa is for a foreign citizen fiancé of a U.S. citizen. This K-1 visa allows the foreign citizen fiancé to travel in the United States of America, provided that he or she will be married to the U.S. citizen sponsor within 90 days of arrival. Eligible children of a K-1 visa applicants receive a K-2 visas. Under the U.S. immigration law, the foreign fiancé of the U.S. citizen is the recipient of an approved petition for alien fiancé, aka Form I-129F. Generally, the U.S. citizen petitioner and the foreign fiancé must have met in person within the 2-year period prior to the filing of the petition. 2-year meeting requirement waiver and exception. An exception to this requirement may be granted by the USCIS if it is: number 1, due to extreme hardship of the sponsor to personally meet the foreign fiancé; number 2, due to a cultural practice or custom not to meet before marriage on either side. Note that waivers such these are rarely granted by the USCIS. Each case is evaluated on a case-to-case basis. 3 important processes in K-1 or Fiancé visa application. Number 1, the U.S. citizen petitioner or sponsor prepares and submits Form I-129F to the USCIS. Number 2, once the K-1 visa application is approved, the foreign fiancé, also known as the beneficiary, schedules a K-1 visa interview in the U.S. Embassy or Consulate. Number 3, the foreign fiancé or beneficiary attends the visa interview and receives a K-1 visa. Step 1. Filing the petition. The U.S. citizen petitioner must file or apply Form I-129F, also known as Petition for Alien Fiancé, with the USCIS office serving in the area where you live. Visit the USCIS website and download the Form I-129F. Here's the Form I-129F looks like. It is available in the USCIS website. Fill out the Form I-129F completely. Incomplete will be rejected by the USCIS. Make sure to follow the instructions carefully as well as the checklist. U.S. sponsor or petitioner must download and/or print the form and the instructions. It is available in the Forms section of the USCIS website. The link is shown below. Where to file your application? File your Form I-129F at the USCIS Dallas Lockbox Facility. So if you're using the service of the USPS, or known as U.S. Postal Service, address it to USCIS P.O. Box 660151, Dallas, Texas 75266. For express mail and courier deliveries such as FedEx, UPS, DHL deliveries, address it to USCIS, attention I-129F, 2501 South State Highway 121 Business, Suite 400, Louisville, Texas 75067. Filing fee. Currently, the filing fee is $535 even. Please visit USCIS website if there are any update or changes of the fees. You may pay by money order, or personal check, or cashier's check. If paying by check, make sure to have it check payable to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Do not abbreviate. Checklist for the required initial evidence. Evidence of your U.S. citizenship, such as birth certificate or passport, for the U.S. citizen petitioner. If naturalized U.S. citizen, a copy of naturalization or citizenship certificate issued by the USCIS. Evidence or proof of you or your foreign fiancé legally terminated any previous marriages, such as divorce decree, annulment order, death certificate for prior spouse, whichever is applicable. One colored passport-style photograph of yourself and your fiancé, taken within 30 days of you filing the petition, known as the Petition for Alien Fiancé or Form I-129F. Write the full name at the back of each photo. Make sure to check specifications of the photo requirements at the USCIS website. Evidence of legal name change if applicable, such as Social Security card, marriage certificate, driver's license, state ID, certified copy of court's order, etc. Evidence to support an International Marriage Broker Act waiver, if applicable. For example, if the petitioner has criminal convictions, he or she must submit certified copies of all court and police records. Evidence that you and your fiancé intend to marry within 90 days of arrival in the United States. The letter of intent. Each one of you has a letter of intent to marry within 90 days of entering in the U.S. with your signatures and the date. Copy of engagement receipt if applicable. Copy of emails, chat logs discussing your upcoming marriage and future plans. Copies of passport pages showing entry stamps. Make sure the stamps is readable. Proof of meeting fiancé in person, 2 years of you filing the Form I-129F or the Petition for Alien Fiancé, and the proof of an ongoing relationship, such as photos of the two viewed together. Print 2 to 3 photos per sheet, write the date, place, and the names of the people in the picture. Photos of you together with family, relatives, and friends. Copies of both of your airline boarding tickets, itineraries, hotel receipts, movie tickets, hotel accommodations, etc. Assembling the Form I-129F packet checklist. First is the cover letter. Make sure to sign and date the cover letter and the table of contents, that list of everything you have in the packet. Second is the payment or the filing fee as required by the USCIS. Third is the Form G1145. This is optional only. By providing this form, USCIS will send you an email or text notification that the application was received. If you decided to attach this form, make sure to put this to the first page of your application or on top of the cover page. This form is also known as the e-notification of application or the petition acceptance form. Fourth is a Form I-129F, completely filled out. Fifth is the statement letter describing how you met. Same answer as you stated to question 34 through 34A, Part 2 of the Form I-129F. It must be dated and signed. Sixth is the G325A form, also known as the biographic information. This one pertains to the petitioner. This form is optional but highly recommended. Seventh is the copy of the U.S. passport biographic or data page of the U.S. petitioner. Eighth is a copy of birth certificate of the U.S. petitioner. Ninth, copy of divorce decree, annulment order, death certificate for prior spouse, whichever is applicable if previously married, U.S. petitioner. 10th is the letter of intent of the U.S. petitioner. 11th is Form G325A, which is a biographic information. This pertains to the foreign fiancé or beneficiary. This is optional but highly recommended. 12 is the copy of Philippine passport biographic or data page for fiancé or beneficiary. 13th is the copy of birth certificate from Philippine Statistics Authority, formerly known as NSO. If your birth certificate is blurry, you may provide baptismal copy as supporting documentation. 14th is the letter of intent of the foreign fiancé or beneficiary. 15th is the proof of having met in the past 2 years, such as photos of the two of you together. Print 2 to 3 photos per sheet. Write the date, place, and the names of the people in the picture. Photos of you together with family, friends, and relatives. Copies of both of your airline boarding tickets, itineraries, hotel receipts, movie tickets, hotel accommodations, etc. 16th is a copy of passport stamps. All pages showing entrance country when you visit your fiancé and from your previous trips outside the country. 17th is a proof of legal name change if either the U.S. citizen or the foreign fiancé is using a name other than that shown in the relevant documents submitted, like the marriage certificate, court order, adoption decree, etc. 18th is a proof or evidence to support an International Marriage Broker Act waiver if applicable. Example, if the petitioner has criminal convictions, he or she must submit certified copies of all court and police records. This assembling of the packet is a suggestion only based on our experience when we file our petition for a fiancé visa. You can do however you wanted as long as you always reference to the instructions from the USCIS. What is next after the Form I-129F petition is submitted? Once you receive the Form I-797C or Notice of Action, save the receipt number provided in the notice. You can use it to track your case status online via USCIS website, or you can download an app on your phone and use the number to track your case. After receiving the first Notice of Action or NOA1, all you have to do is just wait. The USCIS at this point will review your petition. The purpose of the I-129F is to establish a qualifying relationship between the U.S. citizen petitioner and the foreign fiancé beneficiary. USCIS will pre-screen the U.S. petitioner for any criminal background or issues that would create a conflict with the IMBRA or the International Marriage Broker Regulation Act. Once approved, the USCIS will send you another Notice of Action or the NOA2, Form I-797, also called as Approval Notice. It usually takes the same period with the NOA1, between 2 to 3 weeks. However, if the petition you filed is insufficient of information or lack of evidence, you will receive an RFE letter. It is called Request for Further Evidence from the USCIS. If this will be the case, your processing time will be much longer. So after the USCIS is done reviewing your case, they will send you this form as shown here. It is Form I-797 Notice of Action 2, which is the approval notice. This is only valid for 4 months from the date of approval. Step 2. K-1 visa application is approved. After your petition is approved, the USCIS will send your original petition to the Department of State National Visa Center, or NVC. Further inquiries should be directed to the NVC since the USCIS is done or has already completed all action. The NVC now processes all approved fiancé petition. The NVC processing should be complete within 2 to 4 weeks after receiving the approved petition from the USCIS. Processing time may take longer during the pandemic, so make sure to check their website for any notice or announcements. A case record with your petition information will be created by the National Visa Center. Then the NVC will send the approved petition to the U.S. Embassy or Consulate, where your foreign fiancé or the beneficiary will be interviewed for the visa. The U.S. petitioner will receive a mail notification when your approved petition has been sent to the U.S. Embassy or Consulate by the NVC. The notification letter that the petitioner will receive has a unique number for your case, including the name and address of the U.S. Embassy or Consulate where your petition is being sent. Please allow a minimum of 30 business days for the Department of State processing before contacting the National Visa Center. If you haven't received any mail notification within or after 30 days, you may reach out NVC by email at nvcenquiry@state.gov. When sending an email inquiry, please provide the information below. In your subject line, put the USCIS receipt number. In the body of your mail, include the petitioner's name and date of birth, as well as the applicant's name and date of birth. To check your visa case status, you have to go to ceac.state.gov. That is the website of the Consular Electronic Application Center of the U.S. Department of State. So as you can see here on the left side, which I highlighted on red, that is where the field you're gonna input the unique number that was sent to the petitioner via the notification letter. So once you input the number, it will show the details of your case status. So approximately 2 weeks after the embassy receives your case and reviewed, the U.S. Embassy will send a letter to the foreign fiancé or beneficiary with the instructions for scheduling the medical exam and the visa interview. So after receiving the letter, you have to pay first the visa application fee, which is indicated in the instructions enclosed in the letter that you receive. and then you can schedule your visa interview. Indicated in the letter as well is the list of items that must be submitted immediately and which items needed to bring during the visa interview. The approved petition is only valid for 4 months. Failure to respond is presumed that you abandon the petition. Make sure to pay attention to the letter. They may indicate some important notice regarding the impact of pandemic to your application. So here is an example of the U.S. Embassy letter that they sent. Here it showed that the case is eligible to be scheduled for a visa interview. You must pay a visa application fee before you can schedule a visa appointment. Please visit the website indicated on the letter. Step 3. K-1 visa interview and receive the visa. The foreign fiancé or beneficiary attends the K-1 interview at a designated U.S. embassy or consulate. If a child or children will join as K-2 visa holders, they must also attend the interview. The U.S. petitioner is not required to attend during the interview, but is encouraged to attend where allowed. Some countries do not allow. Make sure to bring the necessary documents listed in the letter to bring in the interview, including the proof of relationship and the proof of medical examination. Be prepared. Know what questions to expect. Keep practicing. Take it easy. It is not as scary as you thought as long as your relationship is genuine and true. You have nothing to worry about. The decision or results should be ready right after the interview. The visa will be issued usually within 2 weeks after the interview. Pre-interview checklist. Make sure to prepare all the necessary documentations required on what to bring and not what to bring during your interview. Failure to bring all the required documents could significantly delay you in getting a visa. If you know beforehand that you cannot complete your required documents or are unable to attend the appointment for a visa interview, you should reschedule. There is no cost when rescheduling your visa interview appointment. Visa applicants are not allowed to bring cell phones or electronic devices inside the embassy. Leave your phone in the hotel or in your house, or leave it to your family members or friends waiting outside the embassy. Otherwise, do not bring during your interview because the embassy has no place to hold or safeguard your items. What to bring during the K-1 visa interview. Make sure to bring the DS-160 confirmation page as shown in the sample here. It is also known as the application for an online non-immigrant visa that you submitted online. Make sure to bring the medical exam result from the St. Luke's Medical Center Extension Clinic in a sealed envelope if it was given by the doctor. If they send it directly to the U.S. Embassy, then ignore this part. Here's the list of the documents needed or you're going to submit during the interview. Note that this was way back in 2016, so please make sure to always refer to what is being sent to you indicated in the letter from the embassy. Original documents of valid passport, PSA or formerly NSO of birth certificate, CINOMAR or certificate of no marriage for single or marriage certificate for married, updated NBI clearance for travel abroad, affidavit of support from the petitioner or Form I-134, proof of relationship with the petitioner, and photocopies of the latest income tax returns or Form 1040 and the latest withholding tax statement or W-2 from the U.S. petitioner. Also, make sure to have a backup photocopies of the original documents that you are going to bring. Things to do before the K-1 visa interview. As soon as you receive the appointment date for your visa interview, you must schedule your medical examination 2 weeks before your visa interview at St. Luke's Medical Center Extension Clinic, located in Ermita, Manila. Visit their website for more details. Items to bring to your medical examination: original and photocopy of your visa interview letter, valid passport, one copy of your passport biographic or data page, 4 recent 2 by 2 visa photos. Write the applicant's name at the back of each colored photograph, a copy of your immunization records, DS-160 confirmation page, medical fees including x-rays and blood tests. So here's the medical examination fees taken out from the website of St. Luke's Extension Clinic.ph. For age 15 years and older, it's 17,025 pesos. Less than 15 years old is 9,583 pesos. This medical fees was effective August 1st of 2017. If there's any changes, please feel free to visit their website. After the medical exam. When the medical exam is completed, the exam results will be provided to you by the doctor in a sealed envelope, or they may send them directly to the U.S. consulate or embassy. If in case it is given to you, do not open the sealed envelope. Instead, bring the sealed envelope to your visa interview. Any x-rays taken will be given to you. Do not bring the x-ray result to the interview unless you have tuberculosis. You must carry the x-rays result with you when you first travel to the United States. The medical report must be less than 6 months old when you enter the U.S. as an immigrant. After the K-1 visa interview, the consular officer may make a decision right after reviewing the formal application and after the interview. There's no guarantee though that you will receive a visa right after the interview. If the officer cannot make a decision right after the interview, they may need to review additional documents or it requires further administrative processing. When additional documents are requested, the officer will give you a refusal letter that asks you to submit additional information. The instructions will be specified in the letter on how you will submit the documents requested. This will add to the waiting time after your interview. The administrative processing times will vary depending on each case. Please allow 60 days after your interview before asking about the status of administrative processing. After passing the K-1 visa interview. After passing the interview and the visa is approved, the consular officer will ask your passport and they will keep it at the U.S. Embassy while they prepare your immigrant packet and print the K-1 visa for your passport. They will later return your passport via courier services only. You must register your passport for return delivery before your interview. The officer will give you a copy of your DS-3025 or the vaccination documentation worksheet. To register your visa packet delivery address, contact the Visa Information and Appointment Service online or through their call center. If you ignore this step, your passport will be considered abandoned and you're risking losing the eligibility for a visa. Here's a sample copy of DS-3025 or the vaccination documentation worksheet. After visa approval, the passport, visa, and sealed immigrant packet will be delivered to you through a courier services, the to-go commercial courier, or you can pick up in the nearest to-go branch. Note that applicants do not need to go to the embassy to pick up the visa and packet. Your K-1 visa will be placed on a page in your passport. Make sure to review the details or information on your visa for spelling or any errors. Do not open the sealed envelope because it contains documents that you must give to the U.S. immigration authorities when you arrive in the U.S. for the first time. Therefore, you must hand carry this sealed envelope with you along with the X-ray result during your medical examination if you receive one. Do not put in your check-in luggage. In the visa packet is an information sheet included regarding the CFO or the PEDO seminar. to ensure that applicants are aware of this requirement. Pre-Departure Orientation Seminar or PDOS. Under the Philippine law, all departing Filipino emigrants or leaving the country permanently to settle abroad is required to attend the PDOS seminar with the CFO or the Commission on Filipino Overseas. Only 12 years old and under are exempt for this seminar. Visit the CFO website, cfo.gov.ph, for registration and counseling requirements. They also have online portal, 7 modules to go through, so make sure to check their website. Note, even if you have a visa but you do not have the CFO sticker, you cannot leave the country. Please plan ahead to attend your PDOS seminar to get a counseling certificate and the CFO sticker to be attached on your passport. Schedule your CFO appointment. Check their website for details. Here is an example of an appointment details way back in 2016. When you should travel after a K-1 visa is received. You must travel and enter in the United States before the expiration date of your K-1 visa, usually 6 months from the date of issuance. Expiration date is indicated in your visa. Make sure to check it. Your K-1 visa is not extendable and not refundable. Entering in the United States, port of entry. The Customs, Border and Patrol or the CBP officer will stamp the Form I-94, known as the DHS Arrival Departure Record, in the non-immigrant's passports upon U.S. entry. This will show the date of entry and the date you must exit the U.S. For the K-1 visa holder, you have 90 days validity. The visitor must exit the U.S. on or before the departure date stamped on the I-94. You will be required to enter in the kiosk to enter your information pertaining to I-94 in the port of entry. You can print a paper copy by going to their website after your arrival in the United States. Go to www.cbp.gov/I-94 to retrieve a copy. Your port of entry, by the way, is the airport where you landed. This is the I-94 looks like. It showed the admission record number and your information. U.S. arrival on a K-1 visa. Congratulations! You made it! And welcome in the United States of America. Upon U.S. entry, as a K-1 visa holder, you must be married with your U.S. petitioner fiancé within 90 days after arrival. Failure to marry before 90 days, you have to exit the U.S., otherwise you will be deported. After being married within 90 days, you must apply for a lawful permanent residency in the United States.